Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got something really interesting to share with you guys. I haven't actually been in this box yet, but I know what's in here. This is from a company who is new to me, a company that is making at least this knife. I'm not sure about everything else, but this knife was made almost entirely in-house, I believe, in Phoenix, Arizona. So, USA made. I think they said the only things they don't do are the washers on the inside, or the bearings, right? Whatever they are. We'll check it out here in a sec, but very interesting. So, thank you so much to MachineWise for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. It's very important to note that this is currently a prototype. So this is a work in progress. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be available. I will try and link whatever information I can down in the description, even if that just ends up being their website. But I think it's important that we pay attention to this as it develops, because it seems like a really cool idea. Oh, it says to open this first. Okay, well then we obviously have to do that for sure. Let's see what we've got. I love notes because they add context. And obviously with these being done kind of on the fly, yeah. So, let's see here. This is the Sonora. I'm very glad to have opened this because now I have the name of it. So the Sonora is what it's called. Okay, so I cut the video because I'm reading, but basically this is a group of 5 people making things in-house in Phoenix, Arizona. And they started with balisongs. They have a pen. Now this is their first, sort of non-balisong, folding knife. And I want to read this here. The Sonora is our first foray into the folder market. What you have is serial number 3, a first production/production intent model. At this time, we are continuing to dial in our production process on this product, and our quality will continue to improve. We'll work to implement any feedback you will inevitably have. So this goes on to say that this uses a bushing pivot and stainless steel washers. We went with this pivot due to our familiarity with it and our confidence in its performance. And then it goes on to describe that a bushing pivot, when assembled and tightened, the bushing sets the washers off from the blade. This effectively allows the blade to float in between the washers on a cushion of oil. And then they go on to explain that they've had a lot of good luck with this in the past. It also points out that their target hardness for this blade is 63 to 64. As far as the steel on it, I'm guessing that it's going to say, but whatever it is, that's really hard. So what do we have here? Is this? Oh, they sent the pen. This must house the folder. They sent a pen. I wasn't expecting that. Boy, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. How does it work? Does it click? Does it? Oh, neat. So you turn it, and then it pokes out there. Oh, I don't know what it is about pens, guys, but I like pens. I think that's really cool. And they sent the extra, what do you call it? The filler. I'm obviously not enough of a pen guy to even know what we call these replacements, right? Cartridge. It's the pen reload. But yeah, it's really smooth. It's really nice, and also something that will definitely annoy my wife as I sit on the couch or in bed and do this endlessly. So thank you very much for that. So this is the Rota pen, serial number 29, etc., etc. Very cool. So that'll be listed on their website. And then the Sonora, this is very interesting. I've never seen something like this. Wow. The presentation. Holy moly. Look at that. I get a little, like a coin or something there. That's cool. Very cool. What does it say? This was your bolster. Okay. Let's, was this like 3D printed? Yeah, it must be. Now, is there some sort of magic trick involved with getting the blade out? Nope, you just pull it out. Okay. Beautiful machining right off the bat. Oh boy, that is lovely. Look at that. Integral button lock folding knife. Spectacular. Look at that pocket clip, able to be flipped over for a reverse carry. Now, what is the blade steel? I don't know. something I love about integrals, and a lot of people ask me, well, what's your fascination with integrals? I love the idea of something being machined from a single block of material, right? I think that's really cool. I also like the fact that there's just very little maintenance involved, right? It's literally just the pivot. That's it. And if you want to change the pocket clip out, nice large fastener there, but I do have to stress that this feels very finished. Something that bothers me is when I'm handling a prototype, and I have faith that they'll finish it, but I'm feeling a lot of sharp edges, and it's like, I really wish that I could for sure say that that's going to be taken care of. In this case, everything is nice and smooth. All of these edges all the way around, and the fitment of everything just looks really, really good. Look at that texturing. I love that we have texturing that's going in a different direction, and then this scallop here is actually highlighted by its own milling line. And it sort of it makes the fact that the texturing is going a different way, it sort of highlights that. That's really cool. I also like what we've done here with the back. That's beautiful. This is always an area where you can leave it blank and it looks really good, or you can add a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of sauce. And in this case, they did it right. It looks cool. So let's flip this thing out. I know people are like, shut up, dude. Get the blade out. Oh, it feels good. Oh, boy. How it's really... So I'm going to be honest. I was really... Look how they did that edge. Oh, big fan of that. That's cool. So that's not an accident. This... being ground out like this is done on purpose, and wow, is that super cool looking. So I was a little nervous. I was like, holy moly, are you kidding me? Woo! Man, that was smooth. I can see why you went with a bushing pivot. I had this whole thing that I was going to talk about, and it just my train of thought was absolutely derailed there. Man, so... one thing I worried about was, okay, we're combining button lock, integral, and bushing pivot. Either the action is incredible or it's going to feel really lackluster. It does not feel lackluster. Oh, that brake is look at this. I can't. This is next level. Oh, man. Hold on. This right here. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, that is different. I've come to expect certain the sensations that go along with the breaking of different styles of detents, right? You get used to, you kind of come to expect what a crisp detent ball break feels like, what a plunge lock detent break feels like, or in the case of Brian and Doe, we have the lipped titanium acting as the detent, right? That sort of crispiness. This is different. This is very different. So it is a plunge lock. You can see right there. But something about that break. Oh man. How you guys have done this, I always expect with a plunge lock to feel right in here a little bit of a crunch or because the plunge cutout, what's acting as the detent, is sort of it's like a slope. And so these materials grinding against each other to get the blade to fall into place is not the greatest feeling in the world. And obviously this is very excusable on something like a $60 Civivi button lock. Who cares, right? But it always, plunge locks always feel subpar to a detent ball break, right? You don't get that satisfying, build up and then push. This isn't necessarily creating a heavy detent, but it's, I'm sorry. That release of the lock and the blade is, it's it is so unbelievably smooth that I'm having it's not registering correctly. I got to be honest with you. I've not felt a blade. When you push this button, that blade just falls, and it is so perfectly consistent. I can't feel anything happening inside of the pivot. Usually there's a little bit of, yeah, that's definitely little bearings rolling on a hard surface. Or, yeah, that's a washer that is sort of pressed against a hard surface, and you can kind of feel that friction in there. This is exactly what he was talking about here in the note. It's riding on this surface of oil. And so these pieces are perfectly gliding on each other to create for this really, really satisfying action. And the other thing is the brake is so solid. There's not like this weird, almost like turbulent travel period. Does that make sense what I'm talking about? If you have an inexpensive button lock knife, you can figure out exactly what I'm talking about right now. Just get it out and pull slowly. Pull very, very slowly. I'm not making this up. This is real, right? It'll give you something to nitpick, right? Welcome to my world. When you pull on it, eventually, with enough pressure applied, you feel the start of the brake. And unlike a detent ball fitting into a detent hole, right, this has a little bit of travel to it. And it creates, I guess, what I'm going to call turbulence. I guess that's it's a rough patch in the transition. And it goes, and then it throws, right? Fine on a $60 knife, right? But there are some $200, $300, $400, $500 button locks out there where you're like, no, that's not my favorite thing. This does not have that. It simply is brake. It's pull, brake, deploy. Beautiful. Now, I'm not a machinist, and I wouldn't know the first thing about what went into creating this, outside of the fact that it is a knife and is made with materials that I am familiar with, right? But all I can do is describe the sensations when I'm, playing with a knife. But to me, as somebody who has limited knowledge, it had kind of bounced back out there, right? But there is no, I want to stress this. Once it's in this position, there is no play whatsoever. It is firmly in that position. This to me feels like extreme attention to quality of tolerances. Man, you're still dialing this in, really? There's still more to go. Man, it feels really good. I'm just now realizing I've been rambling on for over 10 minutes. I am a huge fan of this, and I look at that edge. That is just gorgeous. Oh my, oh boy. It's a profile I've seen before, right? But I like the little designiness in here. That's real nice. That's real fancy. This is access to the pivot, which is something we see on all integrals. It looks like that is a separate piece. Yeah, that's how we get in there, right? But talk about low maintenance. Man, oh man, that is spectacular. So is it MagnaCut or is it, maybe I have something in here that I haven't seen yet. I don't know. It looks like it comes with, is this like lubricant? Yeah. So we've got the lubricant, and we've got the T15 bit, and we have the little coin in there. But it's 63 to 64. So let me read the second paragraph here. In our experience, bushing pivots are extremely strong and long-lasting, surviving years of abuse in a balisong, which is often dropped on concrete and abused beyond what a folding knife should ever see. I've also learned this recently, that balisongs are actually really strong. Properly made balisongs are really strong in lockup. Doing all this while maintaining its tune with minimal to no maintenance outside of regular lubrication. Guys, the way that this is written, these are clearly people who are paying attention to the most minute details of the processes involved with creating this knife. This is the crazy knife person in me. This is bringing this out, right? This is why I do this channel, is because I love knives, and even boring stuff is still interesting in its own way. But every now and then something like this comes along, and I just, because it's so much more interesting. It's so much different, right? Anyways, blah, 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 blah. Screw it. Okay, here we go. Bushing pivot systems also do not require the use of a thread locker, as the screw is torqued into place. Okay. If the end user does not have torquing tools, we recommend the screw to be tightened extremely snug. The unfortunate sacrifice of a bushing pivot system is the lack of drop shut while the button is not depressed. But that's fine, though, because you're going to be pushing that button while you're disengaging it. Man, as you guys see there, I would not know any other way to get it to drop. By design, the Sonora is a compromise between a Chris Reeves tactile action and a guillotine drop shut action knife. As the Sonora breaks in, it will get more glassy action. Button stick will reduce. There's button stick is incredibly minimal as it is. It's almost non-existent, guys. That's any stick that's there is not something I would complain about. It's like if I was going to rate it, like between 1 and 100, 100 being impossible to disengage and 1 being next to nothing, it's like a 1 or a 2. It's like nothing. The intention of the Sonora is to be a go-to knife for everyday carry, shooting for ease of carry and comfort of use. I think you've accomplished that even in this apparently unfinished prototype. It says, similar notes, we're harness testing every blade in-house, shooting for a hard HRC target of 63-64. I'm guessing that that's Magna Cut. Because that's like where everybody wants to see Magna Cut, but I don't see anything on there. This is wild, man. You guys did this in-house in Arizona. Huge fan. Just an unboxing and first impressions. But I'm throwing this in my pocket immediately after this video is done, and I'm going to enjoy carrying this for sure. I don't know the price points. I don't know release dates. I will direct you to their social media and their website for more information. I'm very, very happy with this. This is very cool. Thank you so much for sending this and letting me share this with people. I think a lot of the people watching this video right now will be very excited for this. So, yeah, awesome stuff. So, once again, we have Machine Wise, which is obviously a company we should be paying attention to. Very cool. Okay, that's going to be it for today. You will get a comprehensive review of this knife down the road a bit, but I need some time with this bad boy. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.